Hey guys, Kevincage back with another daily cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get right into the information today. So on the previous video, I actually did make a mistake. I was very conservative in my estimate. I said that MoneyGram, of course we're working on 12 of the corridors. MoneyGram, when you actually look at the combinations and all the currency pairs, is not just 2,200 corridors, which is what I said. It is actually 22,000 corridors. So guys, we are just a drop in the bucket right now. Just imagine the upside potential. We're talking even capturing 1% of the market, even a 10% of the entire remittance market would be massive for this investment. Now, again, none of this is financial advice. I always recommend you guys do your research. Look at multiple sources. Do not just go on YouTube. Do not just go on Twitter. Do not just read a few articles. Really do some deep dives for yourself because it's your hard-earned money. It's my belief that XRP is one of the best positioned assets in the whole cryptocurrency space to have long-term success. A lot of people look short-term, but we have not seen the utility as of late, and we are waiting on that. And I don't care if it's at 30 cents for another year or goes, to $100 instantaneously. I know what is coming, and I have an exit plan, and I will act accordingly. So thank you, Mr. Chino Patel. I know you sent some great information as well for correcting me on that. And again, here's the source, and it's on MSN. So the support that we can provide right here. MoneyGram has 350,000 global agent locations in 200 countries and territories worldwide and transfers money between 22,000 corridors. So remember, in the previous video, I talked about the United States, now Australia, we got the Philippines and Mexico, and they're all kind of moving between each other. And again, it is dependent, formerly XRapid, now it is called ODL, on-demand liquidity. We need to develop the, proper compliance, make sure the risk is right there, and then develop the liquidity in these markets as well, incentivize the market makers and liquidity providers there to create a fair ecosystem where XRP is very liquid and there's not as much slippage, and this makes ODL significantly more cost effective than the current infrastructure of the legacy services that are used today. All right. And obviously we know that Swift is trying to innovate a little bit with Swift GPI. We know that Xcurrent, Ripple's product, can easily do that. And we've been getting a lot of people onto Ripple. Something I want to emphasize too is, okay, awesome. Swell. We had some good announcements. I expect some price appreciation very soon, in my opinion, kind of like a post-Swell pump. Again, none of this is financial advice. Nobody knows, so do not be fooled. But we have 300 partners, correct? 300 plus partners that are RippleNet partners. Some of them are using XRP today. Very low amounts though. So say, 24, maybe 24 people, FIs and banks are using XRP, but they have to scale up that adoption. Now, what's interesting is they haven't really named a lot of the new clients, not yet. And because there's many NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, and it's up for the client to decide if they even want to announce such a thing. They are not obligated or obliged to announce that they're working with RippleNet. Remember what I said the other day, customers do not need to know and frankly don't care. All they care about when they're using a service is they want their transfers to work, they want them to be fast, and they want them to be cheap. That is the concern. That is exactly what Ripple is focusing on. And then again, the National Bank of Qatar, NBQ, is a RippleNet partner now. That is a freaking monster. So just be patient. That is my personal advice. Again, none of this is financial advice, but I just really, want people to not have these short-term expectations for anybody that joined in the bull run when prices moved by, triple digits or 20% per day. We have to have proper expectations. And I believe when it really starts to move on full utility, it will move quickly. But again, there's still going to be some speculative bull runs in between that space. We're nearing a 2-year bear market cycle. It's been boring in terms of price appreciation, but I've never been more bullish on XRP as an investment vehicle. All right. Our job is easy. It's just a waiting game. If you'd rather have all your money sitting in the bank doing nothing, be my guest. I want my money to work for me. Obviously, there's other investments, but it's not a bad idea. Just hold a small percentage of your net worth and other assets as potential hedges and safe havens, whether that be cryptocurrency, where you can own a portion of the protocol, and hopefully you're picking the correct protocols that will succeed and be built upon in the future, or even precious metals. To each their own. I just recommend you guys do your own research. And again, just like Crypto Wizard recently said, institutions have been entering the space for years. They put out FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt articles talking and scaring people away, and then, of course, scooping up low prices. This is known. Fidelity has been doing this since 2015 at least. Now, like us, they are anticipating massive profits in the future. These groups these institutions do not invest billions of dollars for no reason. There is a method to the madness. They know what lies ahead. Do you? That's my question. All right. So again, I'm showing this chart. This is not financial advice. This is just something for entertainment purposes. I want to hear your thoughts. Please be constructive with your criticism or your belief. So right now, we are around here. We've actually traced up around 3, and we're around here. We're at, right now, at recording this video, I'm at 27.8 cents. Now, we're kind of at this first little neck, and this is a previous cycle. And Awake, Mr. Level Up on YouTube, does a lot of cycle analysis. This is not TA. This is not technical analysis. Might be mixed with some TA if you're looking at the moving averages. But he believes that we have a good chance of repeating this cycle. So right now, we're right around here on consolidating. So hypothetically, if we get this other little hump here, this little hill, and then this little peak, I mean, we could obviously shoot right to 32 cents pretty quickly. If this happens, I'd imagine it would happen within a week from now. But again, not financial advice. The market is heavily manipulated, but let's just keep an eye and see if we do shoot through that 32 cents, maybe a little consolidation, and then boom, 40 plus cents it is. And it's simply a matter of time, guys. We've been in this range for a long time. We know last year, even before XRapid or XRP usage was announced, XRP was well over 50 cents. And now we're actually getting true application. There's very bullish news going on at Swell, and it's simply a waiting game. We already know the people said XRP is not meant to be low price. It is not meant to be simply $1. We all know how the order books work. And then right here, just to support this claim, this is Aquaflow XRP. So XRP consolidation pattern demystified. So until now, XRP is reproducing exactly the same consolidation pattern as the one from 2014 to 2017. These pivot lines are perfectly synchronized, and we are in phase J. So we're in the last phase here. So again, we've been following this. This is 2018 to now. And just look at this. I found this pretty interesting. Not financial advice, but let's just take a look. So we're at J. So hypothetically, this kind of goes in line with what Mr. Level Up is predicting as well. And what I notice is the sentiment right now, everybody's lost faith with XRP. And me as a contrarian investor, when everybody gets bearish, when I get all these comments telling me XRP is going to 10 cents, 15 cents, XRP is going to 0, I'm buying. I'm willing to risk it because I know what I'm invested in. I've done the research. And I'm very, very confident. All right. Next up, we got a comment by Ian Northen quoting Mr. Dilip Rao, and he is, again, the global head of infrastructure innovation at Ripple. Here's the quote. First, you get the banks connected, referring to getting them all connected to RippleNet, becoming RippleNet clients or Ripple clients. They do what they're doing today better. They like it. They build their services on it. Then they say, I want to do this in 100 countries. So they want to scale up. But I cannot hold currency, fiat currency, in 100 different countries. Well, guess what? You've got XRP. So essentially replacing these Nostra Vostra accounts, these trillions upon trillions of dollars of dormant capital that sits idle, that is very susceptible and heavy with capital costs, inflation. And there's so many things that move, and there's not much interoperability in the legacy systems today. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. Again, if you're new to the channel, just look into the concept of Ripple trying to help replace or at least relieve some of the need for these pre-funded accounts. Basically allowing these organizations, FIs, banks, and corporates to better utilize their capital, all right? Putting them in different manners or investing. Imagine investing, a couple $1 billion and even in bonds and getting a 2% return. That's significant. All right. And what I like here is we got the real XRP boy. So great to see him back. And he says, in the words of Dilip Rao, that's when the turning point will come. So look at this. I'm going to read these verbatim. Stick around to the end. Right here. I think generally innovation is held back by your legacy systems. And I think sometimes if a legacy system is so old that you want to throw it in the dump, you don't have to worry so much about what you've got. You just say, I'm going to dump this. I'm going to get the new shiny thing. And then Rao stated that a lot of Europeans and Americans are still loving and tending to their legacy systems, this old infrastructure that was built 40 years ago, pre-internet, pre-digital era, which is why they don't let go of them. However, in the Middle East, he stated that he has observed an aspiration towards innovation. Well, it's good that somewhere is doing it. So again, even as the cryptocurrency space is pushing the envelope for what is possible, a majority of investors are utilizing them to make a quick buck. But when asked about the general state of the cryptocurrency market and the reasons they are utilized like this, Rao mentioned it as a chicken and egg problem. He went on to say, you have to create a marketplace. Right now, we have roughly 150 to 200 exchanges around the world that trade XRP. A lot of it is, as you say, very shallow trading by individuals, and that is not the use case that we're pursuing because we are so early. So the use of XRP that is being pursued by Ripple is as a financial asset for bridging the gap of liquidity. That's the key word, liquidity, an agnostic bridge asset. Rouse stated that it did hurt the space. He also spoke about institutional investors, stating, in the last quarter, the bulk of XRP sales were institutional investors. That's why I'm bullish. As this transitions away from retail to institutions, we'll start to use it for wholesale financial usage. That's when the turning point will come. The executive also mentioned that, that this was the only region in the world where Swift does not have any fans. He stated that the region recognized that there was no need for a reliance on a centralized hub and spoke architecture. Boom. We need a distributed system, a decentralized system, of course, with trusted nodes and validators. Sounds like the XRP ledger. All right. And he went on to say, where there's 50% trade happens within the Asian, I'm going to say Asian or ASEAN, I believe. They don't need to use a global platform to do what they can run it on a peer-to-peer basis. I think strategically, what DLT offers this part of the world is very important. And again, guys, sorry, it's hard to read my screen. There's a sun glare on it right now. But again, this is huge. And we're talking about, obviously, institutional sales and investors. Obviously, they're decreasing the sales. There's been a lot there. And for those of you that don't believe the pre-allocation theory that has been around for a while, literally, Brad Garlinghouse said it in the interview with Miss Julia Chatterley, saying, yes, groups can actually buy it, but it's still locked in escrow and it's contracted to them when it is finally released. So there could be some big groups, whether you believe it's the IMF, who knows, or just some other organizations that wanted to buy large amounts of XRP because they see the ecosystem being built upon. That's bullish. And again, David Schwartz, if I haven't said this, says, yes, for XRP to hypothetically moon or skyrocket in price, we need a lot of these institutions, FIs, banks, corporates to hold and stockpile XRP. And there's multiple use cases, but of course but they expect appreciation through utility. All right, XRP Neo. How interesting that central banks all over are coming out with their own central bank digital currency all of a sudden. Just recently, it was said that it would take many years for this to happen, if at all. How strange. Absolutely. I mean, we are literally, as retail investors, everyday people that just consume the news, we are on a need-to-know basis. The people really know what's going on, and they have their own agenda, of course. And then XRP Crypto Wolf. So this is the ECB. Their digital currency is underway. Progress possibly next year within the coming months. The ECB's governing council will meet next week under Christine Lagarde and could address the issue of a central bank digital currency. And then lastly, right here, we're going to finish off with this. This is a really cool tweet quote. And this is just from Chef Investor. We've seen this before, but I just needed to remind everybody because people have been getting really, really toxic in this space. So again, let's just read this. It says, investing should be more like watching paint dry or watching grass grow. If you want excitement, take $800 and go to Las Vegas. By Paul Samuelson. Wanted to finish that off. Keep expectations in check. Will we follow these patterns that we're seeing people predict? Hey, I mean, I absolutely hope so. Again, my investment strategy, I follow the fundamentals. Bottom line, I hope for the best, but I prepare for the worst. All right? Well, guys, appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next video.